first and foremost, there seems to be a little bit of confusion here. Everyone was anticipating the summons or the charges to be around the SARS rogue unit, but it is not. It's around Evan Pillay and his retirement, early retirement. Was this the expectation?
Well, good afternoon, Abigail. Good afternoon to the viewers. I think, well, this was quite expected, but as you correctly indicated, the expectation would have been on the rogue unit. But then also at the same time, you have got in South Africa a situation where there was a lot of speculation, especially surrounding Minister Gordhan and the NPA. And what was then happening is that you would actually get a lot of mixed feelings. Other people were saying that there seemed to be an investigation going on surrounding the Minister of Finance and nothing is being done. And others were saying you need to leave the Minister of Finance and not do things that will actually affect him from performing his responsibilities as he's one of the senior cabinet ministers, because it has got an impact on the rand and our economy. But also at the same time, Abigail, I think it's important to note that in South Africa we adhere to the rule of law. And obviously when there are suspicions or when someone is found to have been guilty or have done something wrong, anybody in South Africa from the top, from the president to the youngest citizen of the republic, has to face the music and actually go and appear to court and prove his innocence. And that is what we adhere to in the Republic of South Africa.
Minister Ndou, there's also the question, a lot of speculation around the charges, like we've already discussed, but some comments on social media and talks within corridors are saying, you know what, there are people, political figures, people of importance who, with this speculation that they have done far worse, speculation of far harsher charges being able to be put against them. There's talk of political interference with regards to the Minister of Finance. Some people saying that the charges aren't that intense or aren't that bad. Your view here?
Well, that is not a new story. A lot of people are talking about political interference. And all of us know what it means to interfere in the legal processes when you're a politician. You'll recall, Abigail, that a few years back, President Mbeki was recalled from government because there was a perception, actually it was said that he actually interfered with the legal processes. And if there is a political motive surrounding this issue, I think politicians will know what then will be the consequences. But also at the same time, I think it's important, you know, that the finance minister is afforded an opportunity to go and appear in court so that he can prove his innocence. And you'll recall that from the onset, you would actually hear the minister saying, I am innocent, there seemed to be a political motive. And for a very, very serious reason, if there are those politicians that are involved in this matter, they must actually face the music. And I would expect the leaders of the different political parties, from the ruling party and all the opposition parties, if their members are actually involved in this in the political conspiracy, they must actually face the music. But also, it's important to note that in South Africa, we adhere to the principle of the separation of powers, that the other key government institution should not interfere in the functioning of another key institution. Let's leave the law enforcement agencies to perform their responsibilities without the interference of any other state institution. And then we'll be respecting the principle of the separation of powers.
Mr. Ndou, you know, interestingly enough, I had a conversation with the head of the Hawks a couple of weeks back, and in that conversation he kept reiterating the fact that he feels as if South Africans are obsessed with the case around the Minister of Finance, Levy Ndou, saying that he doesn't understand. A lot of other high-profile individuals have been through the same process and there wasn't as much noise. Do you think South Africans are obsessed with Levy Ndou and the case and accusations around him, or do you think South Africans have enough reason to be this concerned?
Well, I think South Africans have got enough reasons to be concerned. Pravin Gordhan occupies a very, very strategic position in the cabinet of the Republic of South Africa. And if you'll check, you'll then realize that in a number of countries, you don't have a situation where a minister has to be charged and go and appear in court. But then in the South African context, you would know that even though this rumor started, Pravin Gordhan has been performing his responsibilities to the best of his abilities. And I think he has to be applauded for that. But also at the same time, people or ordinary citizens must be concerned that if the finance minister is to appear in court, it has a potential of affecting the economy very, very badly. It can weaken the rand. And obviously, Pravin has been doing very, very well in his ministry. And we don't want a situation where the minister might lose focus and not focus on his responsibilities. Indeed, we just have to be worried. But at the same time, we need to adhere to what I actually alluded before, to say that no one is above the law. And if there are certain things that have not been done properly, you will need every ordinary citizen, even those that are in senior positions in government, to go and prove their innocence so that justice will be seen to be served for all citizens equally.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ndou. We appreciate your time. We always appreciate you chatting to us here on ANN7. That was political analyst Mr. Levy Ndou.